Hey there. If your business is growing, you know that data is pretty much your biggest asset. But let's be real, it can also feel like a huge, complicated headache. Well, today, we're going to show you how to turn that chaos into a serious business advantage. Let's dive in.
So, does this sound familiar? Your company is scaling up. Things are going great, but your data, it's getting more and more complex. You're collecting tons of it, but trying to manage it, keep it secure, and actually use it, it's a massive challenge. You're basically living in data chaos. And you know, that chaos creates some very real pain points. I'm talking about that constant stress of trying to keep up with all the compliance rules, or having data just scattered everywhere in different systems that don't talk to each other. You know, those messy data silos. And always kind of hanging over your head is that scary risk of a security breach. These aren't just little growing pains, they are major risks to your business.
But here's the big question we're tackling today. What if you could just flip the script on this whole problem? What if, instead of just trying to put out fires, you could actually transform all that pain into a real, measurable competitive advantage?
Well, the solution is a strategy called data governance. And this right here is how we stop reacting to problems and start creating proactive, repeatable wins for the business. So what exactly is data governance? Well, simply put, it's a strategic framework. And no, it's not some dusty old rule book that sits on a shelf. It's an intentional plan with clear policies and processes that lays out exactly how your business handles everything about its data, from who can use it to who owns it to how it's secured. It's basically your playbook for winning with data.
And this idea right here is the whole goal. Remember those recurring pains we talked about? A solid data governance strategy turns them into repeatable wins. Suddenly, compliance is a smooth process. Your data is clean and trustworthy. I mean, that is a powerful shift.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, how do we actually build this? Let's break it down. We're going to look at the practical framework and the core pieces you need to get in place.
All right, any strong framework is really built on 5 key pillars. First, you have to know what compliance rules apply to you. Then, you need a clear framework with defined roles. You'll back that up with smart technology, build everything with a privacy by design approach, and, this is a big one, you need ongoing training for your whole team to make it all work.
So let's start with compliance. This isn't just some abstract idea. We're talking about huge regulations like GDPR in Europe or the CCPA in California, and honestly, they have a global reach. And if you're in an industry like healthcare, you've got laws like HIPAA to worry about. Step 1 is just figuring out which of these rules you need to follow.
And why should you care so much about compliance? Well, the fines. One single violation of GDPR can cost you up to 20 million euros, or, get this, 4% of your annual global revenue, whichever number is higher. The stakes are absolutely massive. It's a gamble you just can't afford to lose.
Now, a framework isn't just a bunch of documents, it's about people. You have to assign clear responsibilities. So, think of data owners as the strategic leaders. They're accountable for a specific set of data, like all your customer info. Then you have data stewards. They're the ones in the trenches, the hands-on managers, making sure that data is high quality, used correctly, and compliant every single day.
Okay, enough theory. How does this actually play out in the real world? Let's check out a couple of examples of small and medium-sized businesses who are totally nailing this and seeing some incredible results. Okay, picture this, a mid-sized e-commerce company. They decided to fully embrace GDPR principles. They set up strict access controls and started classifying their data. And the result? They didn't just dodge fines. They actually built more trust with their customers, which led directly to more sales. Or how about a small healthcare clinic? They built a really strong governance structure for HIPAA compliance. Not only did it save them from costly fines, but it also improved the quality of patient care. These are real, tangible business wins. Feeling inspired? Good, because we're about to switch gears and get into your action plan. This isn't just talk. We're giving you a practical playbook that you can start using literally the second this explainer is over.
Your first tool is a decision framework. Think of this as your strategic roadmap. It's what's going to guide you through all the high-level thinking you need to do to build a governance plan that actually fits your unique business.
It's a really clear 5-step process. You start by figuring out what rules you need to follow, and then taking a hard look at where you're at right now. From there, you develop your policies and pick the right tech to back them up. But it doesn't stop there. That last step is so important. You have to constantly monitor, review, and refine your approach. This has to be a living, breathing strategy. All right, so once you've got your strategy all mapped out with that framework, you need a tactical guide to actually get it done.
And that is exactly where this checklist comes in. It breaks down the big ideas into concrete to-dos.
This is your ground-level plan. It's about defining your exact compliance needs, setting up those clear roles we talked about, and investing in the right tech for both data quality and security. And, super important, it means making employee training a regular, ongoing thing. This is how you turn strategy into reality.
So, if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. Good data governance is not a cost center. It is an engine for growth and trust. It is how you turn your biggest data headache into your most powerful competitive advantage.
Look, your company's data holds the key to its future, to innovation, success, and resilience. The only question left is, are you ready to build the framework that finally unlocks it?